What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your appreciation, and thank you for listening to my never-ending rants and ramblings about the state of affairs of this dimension that we currently inhabit. The state of affair we're going to talk about in this video is NoFap and attracting women to you. There's this idea out there that if you stop teasing your weasel, you're gonna become more attractive to the opposite sex, to the females, to the female species. Is that true? What do I think about that? What does this idiot think about that? I think it's true, man. And I think it's because of two major reasons. So let's talk about them. First thing first, when you're an addict to porn and when you're constantly teasing your weasel, right? You're constantly busting a nut every day, twice, 3 times, 4 times a day. Eventually, you're gonna blow up your dopamine receptors because the amount of dopamine that is released when you bust a nut is comparable to cocaine, what you get from sniffing lines. So you're doing that like a few times a day, every day. At some point, your body's like, dude, it's too much dopamine. I can't handle this. So we're gonna down-regulate the production of the dopamine receptors. As a result, to get the same effects, now we have to jerk off more, and it's just a vicious circle, right? It's you go on a down spiral, right? You just go down from there, downhill. Now, dopamine receptors are blown up. I'm not feeling too good, and I'm just gonna pause this for a second because there's gonna be people here and dogs, and I like playing with dogs. Okay, guys, so dopamine receptors are blown up. All right. What's happening now is you have low levels of dopamine. Other than the moment you bust your nut, your dopamine levels are lower than usual. And so, you have an imbalance now. You have a neurotransmitter imbalance. You have a hormonal imbalance. This causes anxiety. This causes like feelings of weirdness, awkwardness, social anxiety. You don't know what to tell people. You don't know what to tell a woman. You freeze up. It's gonna happen because your dopamine levels are not normal. If you want to be feeling good, feeling a sense of well-being and confidence, you need like normal, higher than normal levels of dopamine. If you can maintain that, you're happy. Our natural state is happiness, strength, and health. But we have to deal with modern epidemics. And one of the modern epidemics that we have to deal with is the porn. Just, you know, it's so accessible. It's so easy, right? All you gotta do is click a button and all kinds of shit pops up, right? And I understand. I mean, I was a porn addict, so I understand. It's tricky. We want to reset the dopamine levels. If you can reset your dopamine levels to their normal state, to their normal level, then suddenly you feel more confident about yourself. You feel better. You feel good. You're smiling more. You're laughing more, right? And therefore, you become more attractive to women because you create a positive. Dopamine is positive. It makes you feel good. With normal dopamine levels, because you're not fabbing anymore, now suddenly, hey, you feel better. You're smiling more, you're laughing more, you're creating a positive environment here. And that is attractive. That is attractive to anyone. And that's especially attractive to women who are nurturers and creatures of love. So if there is something that makes them feel good, because you know they're emotional, and if there's something that makes them feel good, they're gonna want to be closer to that thing. So if you're someone who emanates this good feelings, emanates dopamine, emanates positivity, happiness, dopamine is the happiness, so you're happy, you're joyful, of course you're gonna be more attractive to women. they're even gonna look at you and see you talk to somebody else, and it just looks like you're, you know, you're happy, you're spreading good vibes, and that's gonna attract them to you. You know, as simple as that. So yes, dopamine levels, by NoFapping, you rebalance your dopamine levels, and therefore you become more attractive to the female species. Now, the other reason, you know, this one is a big one. The other reason why you become more attractive and now you can actually talk to women is when you're constantly watching porn and constantly busting a nut, you start to see women as pure objects that are basically good for nothing but fucking. That's, I mean, really, if you're watching porn all the time, you might not realize it, but that's the perception that's starting to happen. So you go out into the world and you see a cute chick and you're completely frozen because you don't see anything else other than the object in front of you. So you freeze. What do you say to an object? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't talk to objects. You know, I talk to trees. They're living things. I don't talk to objects though, because I don't know what to say. Okay? I don't know what to say. So I mean, I don't talk to objects. Rarely anyway. Rarely. Sometimes I do, but rarely. But generally speaking, I freeze. If you tell me, hey, say something to an object, I don't know what to say. In the same way, you come here, you want to talk to this woman, but now she's an object. Because, I mean, that's what you see in porn, right? She's an object. Hey, you know what? Just, that's it. She's just something you fuck, an object you fuck, and that's that. And you know what? You might as well get one of those, there's one of those toys. There's like toy vaginas. Get one of those and you're good to go. Because look, behind this object, what you think is an object, is a complex human being, just like you and I. Behind this object, there's a subject, okay? There is a human being that was born somewhere, has a family, has friends, has dreams, has aspirations, has hopes, has fears, just like you and I, human being. That happens to be a female, that happens to be a little bit different than you and I, a little bit, because they share a different sex, but they ultimately share the human condition. Ultimately, we're all one. We share the human condition together. So I'll tell you something that you share in common with this chick. Both of you shit, both of you piss, both of you orgasm, right? Both of you are gonna die. Both of you are in the present moment right now here in this dimension. Both of you are in the same time-space continuum at this very present moment. That's already a lot in common, man. That's already a human condition. That's already a lot in common, okay? And you have a nervous system that, although is a little bit different, reacts to the same things. Reacts to fear, reacts to emotion. You experience emotions. You know what else you have in common? You experience emotions, and this woman in front of you experiences emotions. Really, that's already a lot in common. So when you stop watching porn, when you stop looking at women purely as objects, because that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna stop watching porn, you're gonna do NoFap, and slowly you're gonna get back to in touch here with what's going on. The other thing, the standards of beauty in porn are ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, how many women in the world look like what's her name? That Asian porn star, Asa Akira or something? I mean, how many women have like these big tits and these big asses, you know, and this like super sexy face, you know, and that's not a lot. The truth is, not a lot. Not everybody, not every woman looks like that, okay? But you're constantly watching these women, and they're like, the standards of beauty is like the biggest tits, big asses, you know, bazillion plastic surgeries to give you this seemingly perfect shape, seemingly perfectly shaped woman. And now they're setting the standards. So now you're only getting off to these standards of beauty. You come out to the real world as a fabber, not as a no-fabber. You come out to the world and suddenly, bang, like, you don't find girls sexy. You don't find them attractive. You won't even get a hard-on because your standards are completely different. You're not living in the real world. The real world is anything that you have your five senses and you're engaging your five senses in. You're not living in the real world. You're living in that porn world where somebody else told you this is how a woman looks like and this is how a woman is, and that's that. You're not living here in this world among people in this dimension. I guess you're still in the same dimension, but you're letting someone else dictate your sexual behavior and your sexual expectations. That's the problem. But if you stop no-fabbing, stop watching porn, you come back here, you start to engage with the world around you, suddenly you find a lot more women attractive. Because now your standards are coming back to their normal levels. And a normal, healthy human being, a woman and a man, finds a wide range of people attractive. The more people you find attractive, the healthier you are, period. If you're a healthy person and you take care of yourself, you're gonna find a lot of people attractive, man. You're gonna find a lot of people attractive. And if somebody finds a lot of people attractive, that person is healthy. In my opinion, that person is healthy. You're gonna start finding a lot more people attractive. You're gonna start finding a wide range of women attractive. Suddenly a woman that you would never look at before when you were constantly fabbing, suddenly you look at this woman and you're like, wow, she's cute. Oh, she's cute. You know, but fast forward when you used to be a fabber, before you started on your no-fab, and you look at her and in your mind you'll be like, oh, she's ugly. She's ugly. And you know what? If you were to try and kiss her and get to know her, you might not even get a hard-on because your standards of beauty and what turns you on are now completely dictated. Your expectations of what a woman is completely dictated by the porn you watch. So that's good. Now your standards are back to the natural way your body is and your psyche is. Now you're finding a lot more women attractive, and by default, if you're finding a bigger audience attractive, a bigger audience starts to find you attractive. You see how it works? See, when you do NoFap, you see now suddenly you used to find 1 in 10 women attractive. Now you're finding 6 in 10 women attractive. Oh, you just what? Quarter what is it? Times 5, times 6. Your audience just grew times 5, times 6. Okay? So, I mean, of course, more women are going to find you attractive because you're finding more women attractive. Now, the other thing, because you're a no-fabber now, you're not watching porn and you're not, seeing only the act. You're actually now seeing the whole thing. You come into the world and you start to engage. And you start to see this previously looked upon object as a subject, as a human being, as a consciousness, a stream of consciousness, a being in front of you, and you start to take interest in that being. You start to build actual attraction that leads to the moment that you see in porn. Okay? Those moments you see in porn. See, here's the thing with porn. These porn stars, they're very comfortable with each other. You know why? Like what they do, they're comfortable. Some of them are acting, some of them are enjoying it. I've listened to podcasts with porn stars like the reason why I mentioned what's her name, the Japanese porn star, Asakira, I think her name is, because I listened to a podcast. She was on Chris Ryan's Tangentially Speaking, and she says she actually enjoys the porn. However, what you see in front of you in the porn, she's comfortable with her co-porn stars, right? They're porn stars. They're shooting a movie, right? They're comfortable with each other. That's why they can just do whatever they want. And they can let loose. And some of them are just acting. Others are enjoying. But they can sort of let loose. It's fine. It's okay. They're comfortable. That moment that you want to see yourself engaging in real life, you gotta build comfort between you and the girl, between you and the woman, right? What's going on, guys? Good. It's a heat wave today, huh?
Are you Italian?
Yeah. Sorry?
Are you Italian?
No, but I get that a lot. I get that a lot. Yeah, I thought, yeah, well, I'm Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern people, we talk a lot with our hands, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's like same mannerism, the Mediterranean mannerisms, right?
Yeah. No, I was just in a meeting with a bunch of Germans, one of the Germans halfway through, because there was a bunch of Italians there too.
Oh, and they did.
What's this?
This?
I said, no.
Okay.
Like this. He's on the table like this. I said, what? He says, that's a dead Italian, because their hands are going like this.
You too. Did you guys hear that joke? Okay, so oh man. Okay. Where were we? Right. So shout out to my Italian friends. I love you guys. I love Italian people. Honestly, I love Italian people, man. So passionate. Italian people are so passionate, right? Okay, back to seeing the woman now as a subject, right? You're not fabbing, you're not watching porn anymore, so this person in front of you is a subject now. Hey, what's your name? What do you do? You know, and you start to see, hey, we share a lot in common. We share the human experience in common. We build the comfort, we build the trust. She's comfortable being herself in front of you. You're comfortable being yourself in front of her. And then you guys can start to experience pleasuring one another in comfortable and trusting environment, right? And then what you see in porn, you can start to do with the woman. And you can just kind of let your imaginations go wild, because even porn dictates how lovemaking should be. But, you know, again, there's all kinds of porn now. So, but if you also just get in touch with yourself, the woman in front of you, and maybe you don't have to be dictated exactly by the way love is made in porn. It can be different ways, right? It can be what you see in porn, but it can be other things too. So, yeah, I think, yeah, definitely no fabbing will make you absolutely more attractive to women. It absolutely will. From a physiological standpoint, with resetting your dopamine levels and everything, and also from a psychological point of view, which is now you're engaging with a human being just like you and I. You're building comfort, you're building trust, you're building authenticity, and then you can go ahead and experience pleasure together. Okay, so that's it. That's all I gotta say here. That's all. I love you guys. I love every single one of you, but don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.